Welcome, everybody. Once again, we are the vinyl community, Guncles. It's time to review our tops and bottoms for the year 1986. This is the year we're doing this time around, and yeah, we've got the tops, we've got the bottoms, and I don't know what else to say except for we are the vinyl community, Guncles. I'm Robert Fithen, along with Mike from Hubtunes, Richard from Calvin Wazoo, and ladies and gentlemen, the man who still, after all this time, is very upset that for Christmas he still didn't get those cha-cha heels. Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora.
Fucking cha-cha heels. You had to bring it up, didn't you?
Yes.
You knew he would.
I heard you got so upset you threw down the Christmas tree and stomped on your
I
gloves.
did. I was so angry.
Not on Christmas, Craig. Not on Christmas.
It was, I didn't get my goddamn cha-cha. Gimme, cha-cha heels. Eartha Kitt song.
So yeah, 1986, the tops for me include Metallica, Master of Puppets. I have a Walmart version of this, so that's how...
I thought I had that record, but I don't.
On
I do.
brick red vinyl, which looks more orange. But yeah,
You have that record, Craig?
Yeah.
I would not have thought that.
I have like four or five Metallica.
Yeah,
Really?
he's got all kinds of Metallica.
I didn't know you were.
Yeah, I have Ride the Lightning. I have Injustice for All. I have the Black Album. I like Metallica, like up to like the Black Album.
Well, he's a cliche.
I don't really, and that's my least favorite out of what I have. But
I like the this one. I think this is them, just being the thrashy kind of young, energetic,
Sanitarium.
I didn't get into this until later on. I mean, I remember the T-shirts in high school and the people that were wearing them, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to listen to their music. God damn. But sometimes, they stumble across decent stuff like Metallica. Samantha Fox. She's not saying "touch me later."
No,
Touch me now.
No.
This guy goes from Metallica to Samantha Fox like that.
Yeah.
Very
She's got
impressive.
she literally got her ass out in the cover of that.
That is
But,
class.
Yeah, she's got. This is actually a cool album all the way through, though. She's got the one about Susie, don't leave me with your boyfriend, where if your boyfriend is left here with me, I'm gonna fuck him. Shit, you know me. I'm Samantha Fox. I'm not. It's not like I'm not going to have sex with your boyfriend.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, she's got that on here. He's got sex. Is the last track on here. So a lot of sex going on here.
I have that song. So my mom, every LDS or whatever, and we were listening to that tape. She was driving us to like a church camp thing, and my mom is singing along to it. And then she's like, "What am I singing? What is this?" And she popped it out of the thing and like threw it in the back of the car. Like, what is this? I'm like, Mom.
Yeah,
Samantha.
The song though, "Touch Me," is just that's one of the best songs of the 80s. I mean, it's got the guitar solo, it's got this big like huge sound, it's got Samantha Fox. I wasn't as big of a fan of her follow-up songs, but she's the later ones are all right too, but she never quite topped "Touch Me Now."
Yeah.
Prince and the Revolution, Parade, and music from the movie Under the Cherry Moon. This is one of those things where the soundtrack is definitely better than the movie.
The movie.
Yeah. I thought I was going to get something along the lines of Purple Rain, and I got some black and white weird movie with a bunch of Prince close-ups, and I didn't see it for the longest time because I didn't see it at the theater, and then it wasn't whatever video store we went to didn't get it, and they had all of these other videos. They would get multiple copies of everything, but for some reason they didn't get that. And then it didn't come on Showtime because it was Warner Brothers, which, fun fact, in that period of time, Showtime did not show Warner Brothers movies. They were HBO exclusives, and HBO did not show Touchtone movies. They were Showtime exclusives. So there's a fun fact for you.
I didn't know that fun fact.
Yeah, it took a long time for me to see Under the Cherry Moon, and when I did, I was like, wow. But this was pretty cool soundtrack. I mean, I do like a lot of the tunes on here, which are not listed on the cover anywhere. But I remember Girls and Boys and Another Lover, like You Need a Hole in Your Head.
Another hole in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Tambourine. Not Tambourine's not on here. But yeah, I was never a fan of the song Kiss. I just didn't really think that was that much of a song.
I love it.
Love it.
New Position, Let's Go Fishing in the River of Life.
Isn't I Wish You Heaven on there too?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that song.
Everybody come behold Christopher Tracy's Parade. But yeah, Kiss, when that first was out, it didn't sound like a complete song. It was one of those things that was just like a bunch of percussion, similar to State of Shock from Michael Jackson and Mick Jagger. But anyway, so yeah, we also had Janet Jackson in Control. 1986. I mean, this was right up there with Thriller as far as one of those albums where it had more hit singles than it did album charts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is it, like 5 on here? Control, Nasty, What Have You Done For Me Lately? The Pleasure Principle, When I Think of You, and Let's Wait a While. So that's
6 of them,
that's
right?
6 singles.
And there's only 9 songs on that album.
Songs. Yeah. That's the same as Michael Jackson Thriller, right? Because Baby Be Mine's Not a Lady in My Life. Was there another song on there that wasn't a single? Maybe he had 7 singles and 9 songs. But yeah, I think that this is when Janet Jackson, in my mind anyway, took the torch from her brother.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in any more Michael Jackson releases after Thriller. I think he peaked with Thriller, and after that it was over. I heard Bad. I thought it was not good. Ironically, it was pretty bad. And I don't even think I ever even heard Dangerous all the way through. I just heard the singles, and I'm not familiar with whatever was after that. Invincible, or
it's all right. I like Dangerous a lot. Yeah.
But compare those to like the Velvet Rope and Rhythm Nation and Janet. I mean, she blows him away later on. I mean, this is no longer Michael Jackson's little sister and Penny from Good Times. This is Janet. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. But yeah, this is just iconic. Sounds a little clunky now with the drum programming and percussion, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis production, but still, I mean, I still love When I Think of You and that so simple piano riff. Doom, doom,
doom, so good. So good.
Doom, 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 doom. And Let's Wait a While. I mean, that song never gets played, so that takes me right back to 8th grade. The slow jam. Chris Isaak had his second album out. This is when he was still pretty cool. Look at that neck.
Yeah.
Is that what you'd call a pencil neck? That is a long ass neck with a big ass head on it.
It's a great.
Speaking of big, but
I was gonna say they're throwing the double entendres around here pretty thick.
Yeah, he's supposed to have a pretty big penis, by the way. I think I've mentioned that before. But Chris Isaak's second album, just self-titled. People think it's his first album, but it's his neck's really long here. Jesus, look at that.
Wow, long neck.
Stretching that out.
Long neck bottle. But yeah, Blue Hotel on a Lonely Highway. Blue Hotel, Life Don't Work. He does a remake of Heart Full of Soul, which we could do without. Lie to Me. All these sultry, like, late night, 2:00 in the morning, works great for a David Lynch movie type songs.
Who produced that?
I think it's Eric Jacobson, right?
Oh,
I know he did some of them. Yeah, Eric Jacobson, the guy that did a few of the Love and Spoonful.
Yeah. Albums. That's a great record.
Yeah. Speaking of 2:00 in the morning, I had it on cassette. Cowboy Junkies released their debut album, which works great at 2:00 in the morning, called Whites Off Earth Now. What a title. A lot of blues remakes from like Howlin' Wolf, I think, is Lightnin' Hopkins actually is a remake on there. Robert Johnson's got the couple of covers from him. I think they're all covers except for one song. But again, it's the typical Cowboy Junkies. They've already got their thing going on. They've already got their sound. It's 1986, but they don't care. They've got their own thing going on, and it's this 2 a.m. kind of sleepy, totally works. They do a cover of Bruce Springsteen's is it State Trooper or is it the other one? I think it's State Trooper. It wasn't even released on vinyl in the US until like 2007.
Yeah, and it's hard to find too. Yeah,
and it's very hard. That's why I still have the cassette after all these years. Yeah. But another cassette I have, Motorhead Orgasmatron, mostly for the name Orgasmatron and the cover, which will probably pop up. But yeah, not the best sounding, that's for sure. I think the production kind of ruins that one. But back to the albums, Depeche Mode, Black Celebration. This is the Depeche Mode you want to listen to if you want 80s, depressing. They literally do a song about flies dying on a windshield and everything's going to die. A Question of Lust. Do I have to say my favorite part of that song again?
No.
Fragile. Anyway,
like a baby in your arms.
Yeah, A Question of Time is completely different than A Question of Lust. But yeah, World Full of Nothing. I mean, just from the titles alone, you can tell this is the Depeche Mode that most people who don't know Depeche Mode and just know kind of their reputation, this is the music you're talking about mostly on this album. The kind of gothy, kind of depressing music like that. Let's see, do I have any more albums? Switching to CDs, we have Peter Gabriel's So. Really liked this album a lot, especially the songs that aren't really hits. Sledgehammer is just okay. I thought it was an okay song. The video is what really made that a big hit with all the effects on it. Don't Give Up was okay, but Red Rain is where the magic is. Red Rain is
yeah.
It opens the album, doesn't it?
Yeah, Red Rain opens the album. Mercy Street, though,
the best song on there.
strangely, is my favorite song on here. Another song that's made for 2 o'clock in the morning.
What is?
Mercy Street.
Oh, yeah, great song.
In your daddy's arms again, looking for mercy. In Your Eyes is way overplayed now, but it used to be a decent song. Kicks off side 2. Really says something about the way that people thought about vinyl records. If you notice, in 1986, current reissues of this, In Your Eyes is the last song. They changed the order of the running of the track listing of this. It's actually the first song on side 2 on the original release. The reason is the producer felt like it needed to sound really good because it had a lot of bass in it, and they knew it was going to be a single. So they put it at the beginning of side 2 against Peter Gabriel's wishes, because something at the beginning of a side was going to sound better than something at the end of a side. So that's how much faith they had in the sound of vinyl records at the time. And certainly this, 86 is where I start kind of getting away from records, because they start making them out of recycled vinyl. The sound quality seems to start dipping. You're starting to get all this sibilance. And the cynic in me believes that it's just to make the CDs sound better. So everybody runs out and gets a CD player. They did the same thing with HD TV. They did the same thing with DVD. You start making the videotapes look worse, so that look, compared to a DVD, this looks awful. So they think they did the same thing with vinyl records. Listen to a vinyl record, unless it's from a major, major artist. Listen to a vinyl record from 1989 or 1990, and you can hear the difference between something produced in the 70s or something like that. REM with Life's Rich Pageant, I think this was their 4th album. They still have that really earthy sound. They don't have the big guitars yet that would show up in later and Document, but still some great songs on here. Not a lot of super memorable stuff, but this has Fall on Me on it. So that saves it right there. It also has Superman.
Yeah, Superman.
Was like training.
I really like that record. I like all the deep cuts on that record.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
Hyena is a great one too, and What If We Give It All Away? That was a great one. But Superman is actually a hidden track on here. The one annoying thing about this is even on the album and even on the CD, the tracks are all in the wrong order. So I made my own track listing by typing it out and taping it to the to the back cover there. But Superman's a hidden track, originally done in 1969 by a band called The Click. That's actually a cover song, yeah. Band from Texas, I think. Bad Brains, Eye Against Eye, they keep going. They're back with a new, kind of a more updated sound, more of like a funk metal type thing, the way funk metal should sound, not like King's X or Extreme or any of those shitty bands. This is, if you're gonna mix heavy music with funk music, it should sound more like this or Gang of Four or something like that. Eye Against Eye, I don't want to have eye. It was explained to me a couple of times what Eye Against Eye means. It's some sort of Rastafarian kind of ideology or something, but I still don't really know. It's something about you against your...
That's one of their records that I still need to get. I don't have that one.
I have this, though. Cinderella, Night Songs. Nothing says 1986 like that.
Wow.
That is 1986 right there.
Mm-hmm.
These guys would have such a better reputation if they were not called Cinderella. I honestly believe that.
And,
this is
and,
not
and
really. This is more like a blues rock band.
they're so
if you really
good,
listen
though.
to them, especially their later albums, the one after, well, later, like starting with their second album. This one, they're still doing like the hair rock thing.
Yeah.
But you can't be taken seriously when you dress like that and your name is Cinderella, for God's sakes. It looks like something out of an 80s movie. Like a band just made for for Slumber Party Massacre 2 or something like that. But yeah, Cinderella, somebody save me and shake me. Shake me, don't break it, baby. Shake me rhymes felt good with knew it would. So
there you go.
That's officially a rock song when you can rhyme felt good with knew it would. I don't know how many times that's done, but they're one of the times. I also got Husker Du doing Candy Apple Gray. Kind of a different sound for 1986, definitely.
A great album.
Seek that one out. You know, if you can get past the first track, which is a lot of screaming, that's when the melody starts kicking in.
I think that's an expensive record.
Yeah, I don't have it. I have the cassette. Mighty Lemon Drops and their debut, Happy Head.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. A little more punky, a little more intense than their later stuff, which they start to mellow out. I really like the first one, Happy Head. Camper Van Beethoven, they had their debut as well. What's that guy's name? David Lowery?
Something like that.
Later of Cracker.
Cracker.
Yeah, I like the album. There's some parts of it I don't like when they cover the classic. I'm not into making fun of Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. I think that went on way too much. Just do your own thing. You don't have to shit all over Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and whoever else, Black Sabbath or whatever. And no, that is not the album, sadly, with Take the Skinheads Bowling. That is a different album. And finally, from 1986, switching gears completely, I actually have a Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab album. I don't think Mike has this one, though. Randy Travis, Storms of Life.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
That's a new one.
Yeah, that's a newer one.
They just. I heard it sounds great.
It does. It sounds.
Have you ever played it?
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
That's
it
why I
sounds
still have it.
incredible.
But yeah, this was the year that the neo-traditional country really blew up. They start getting away from people wearing spandex and trying to be pop stars, and the country actually starts the popular. I mean, country's always had people that held the torch, but as far as stuff all over the radio, that's when the hits start sounding more like country again, with people like Randy Travis, George Strait continues, Reba McEntire, the Judds. White Yoakum a little bit later on, but yeah, neo-traditional country, and this is a terrific album if you're into that kind of stuff. Just about every song on here could have been a single, and 5 or 6 of them were. So this is hit laden. It's really too bad what happened to Randy Travis later on. Getting drunk and naked on the street, talking about his big dick on the police. It's bigger than most. Like, okay, well, too bad it's blurred out. But yeah, on the police cam, they released that video.
Oh, I did not know. I did not know that.
Oh, it's on the internet. Yeah, he's naked and drunk.
Wow.
He was always
You gotta
Mr.
rub
Like
your eyes on that one, huh?
normal,
Yeah.
guy, just your old country boy, not pretentious, not an asshole, not a drunk, not a whatever. And he just turned into it was sad.
I think he's very ill now too.
He's very ill. It's just gets more and more sad with him. But back in 1986, he ruled country music, and songs like 1982 and oh my God, there was so many. On the Other Hand, Digging Up Bones, No Place Like Home.
Digging Up Bones. Okay, what was that? Was like the biggest one off that album, wasn't it?
They're all. I mean, I think they were all number ones.
I think that's the only one I know of that. I know later. Randy Travis.
You don't know On the Other Hand? On the other hand, there's a golden band. No? To remind me of someone who would not understand. On one hand. Anyway, yeah, Randy Travis, Storms of Life. And that'll do it for my time. I left out some obvious ones like Madonna and whatever. I figured you all would
we'll
take,
get to them.
You all would take care of those. Craig will talk about Madonna. True Blue.
No.
Really? Because I listened to it again, and it's okay, but it's like,
good.
It's a little too poppy.
Yeah.
I like
There's
Open
no
Your
Madonna
Heart.
on my list.
Wow.
Maybe that's in his bottoms.
No,
Tells
there's
pretty
no
good.
Madonna. Yeah.
I should have pulled the record out.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I skipped a few major ones. Just
My
because.
Like, it's not my turn, but I had originally, because it's singles, so I had like 68, and I have a top 20, so yeah, I had to break some shit down. So
you got this. You got this much wine.
Pause the video and grab a drink, everybody, and some popcorn. 2 bags. Richard from Calvin Wazoo is up next with his tops of 1986.
Well, first of all, I got 4 events from the year that I pulled out. January 31st, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame had its first induction ceremony in Cleveland. So that's where all the nonsense began. Then on May 28th, the Monkees announced at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City that they were going to embark on this 100-city tour. And that tour became one of the biggest grossing tours of the entire year.
Oh, wow.
They suckered me in.
Yeah. Did you go to one of the shows?
Wasn't allowed to go to a rock concert.
Poplar Creek, Illinois. Yep.
Jesus. Yeah? I have the sweatshirt, though.
Yeah,
I always wondered how organic that was.
I can barely find
What the hell was that?
My phone.
I always wonder how organic that was following the MTV. Because what set this whole thing in motion was MTV played Monkees episodes. They hadn't been played on TV.
Yeah, they played Monkees episodes.
And they played a marathon of Monkees episodes nonstop. Every Monkees episode.
Great.
I think they ran through the whole thing twice. Non-stop on MTV. So they just stopped showing music videos. They stopped showing Bon Jovi.
It was great. I
watched them. I remember staying up late and watching as many, because I hadn't seen them in years and grew up with that reruns when I was a kid. And then that jolted all this interest in the Monkees, and then that's when they went out on tour and released a new album. But I wonder how much of that was pre-planned, or if it really was organically like, damn, we're popular, we need to put a tour together. I wonder really what
was Peter Tork on that tour?
What?
Was Peter Tork on that tour?
Yes.
Yeah, Peter Tork was. I don't think Mike
Nesmith wasn't.
Yeah.
No.
And they put out the new songs on the 2 new songs or 3 new songs on their greatest. They had another compilation with 3 new songs. And they had all these books coming out. Like,
I mean, MTV could have been big enough to orchestrate that. Absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
Well, absolutely. I just mean, did the Monkees plan on going on a tour and then get with MTV?
Well, going on tour costs money too.
You need to do a marathon. We'll all work together. Or did the marathon make this tour happen? Is I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Which did the cart go before the horse, or how did that happen?
There's probably a book about it somewhere.
I suspect it's very, very possible.
Yeah, but it's the Monkees. You can't trust books.
Well, in August, there was a final concert by Queen, and it was part of the Magic Tour, and it was at Nebworth Park, and that was going to be the last performance the band would do with Freddie Mercury and also bassist John Deacon, because Mercury would be diagnosed with AIDS the following year. So, all right, I got 14 honorable mentions.
Jesus.
Some of these, actually, some of my tops have been.
You're gonna get to me, and I'm just gonna be like, you talked about this.
I'm going to start off with Steve Earle and the Dukes, Guitar Town.
That is a great album.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Almost made it to my top.
That's the one where he talks about a Jap guitar. And we're just like,
I don't know.
That's his best record.
I don't know. His I Feel All Right's pretty good.
Yeah, it's also good. Yeah, I love that record. I was gonna pull that, and I was like, no, Craig's gonna talk about it.
Yeah, he's not, because he knows nothing about that.
I thought for sure you
don't remember the song? Guitar Town was on the radio.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Down.
For sure.
No. It's not. What's it?
I can't remember the words.
What's it called? Guitar
the heel steel belts on the
It was Guitar Town. They get that word in there somewhere.
I love the guitar sound on that.
Butthole.
Oh, Jesus.
You love them.
Love the Butthole Surfers.
I'd rather hear Cinderella.
Well, Cinderella's
now,
fantastic.
This album makes it on a lot of bottoms lists, and it's not his best release, but I kind of like this record. It's not like I say, it's not anywhere near his best. But Neil Young's "Landing on Water," I kind of like this record.
It's not his worst.
I really like the video for "Touch the Night." I think that's really a clever video.
Yeah. No, it's a good record. Yeah, it's not.
I forgot to mention one too that a lot of people pan, but it's not that bad. It's just got a really bad cover and a really bad initial single, and that is the Rolling Stones' "Dirty Work." I just listened to that again not too long ago. It's not really that bad. It's just Harlem Shuffle and that cover.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had to bring it up.
The Violent Femmes.
Yeah.
The Blind Leading the Naked.
Mm-hmm. Special.
That's a decent album.
Yeah.
This one is a really, really good, very off-the-wall, electronic, ambient, experimental, Nurse with Wound. This is Spira and Spiral and
We'll be reviewing that next week, Craig.
No.
Oh, yeah. Double album. Noise.
No, I already listened to metal
album.
music or whatever, machine music or whatever it was called.
You did not. You listened to 2 minutes of that.
I listened to at least 15.
I made a video about that and listened to the whole thing again.
I know
I've heard that thing all the way through.
I'm going to listen to Metal Machine music, and maybe not in one sitting, but I'm going to listen through the whole thing because I picked up a couple other noise records, one by Thurston Moore, and my brain is starting to accommodate itself to it, and so that it's not.
I think you should hear it in one setting. I think you should set aside.
Yeah, I think
an
you
hour
should
and
do an
hear
hour.
it. You know, it's not the kind of thing you come back to and hear it all in one setting.
I agree.
Oh, and it could be done in an hour.
Yeah, it's like 62 minutes.
All right, perhaps.
No, thank you.
Now, Wall of Voodoo was, a band that I really, really loved, and then eventually I started getting into Stan Ridgway's solo work.
Solo stuff. Wow, is that good?
The Big Heat, yeah, it's pretty good. It's in my honorable mentions. So
yeah, I like
this one.
Honorably
I
good.
remember when I learned that Stan Ridgway was part of Wall of Voodoo because it was about 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, me too.
Same voice.
Wall of Voodoo only had one song,
really,
right?
really
Yeah, Mexican Radio.
Mexican Radio, yeah.
Yeah, and that whole album.
Only song I know.
Is really, really quite good. I love that album. I don't have a cover for this one, but this is Rocky Erickson, "Don't Slander Me," that I found a nice copy. Just all that glare, because this is like a $50 album or something like that. If you get the cover, and I was able to get this for like $7 without a cover. So I thought it's better to have the record than hope that the other gets cheap. Atomizer, Big Black. It's an acquired taste maybe for punk. It's very Steve Albini's got a peculiar way of recording that you can instantly recognize.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good album. I like this one, Atomizer. Michelle Schacht, the Texas Campfire Tapes, which perfectly describes what this was.
Jesus.
They were sitting around a campfire and somebody had a cassette recorder. They turned it on. And
she's
not necessarily a likable person, but I do like her music.
And she definitely got blackballed. The record industry was like, "You're done. We're tired." She definitely got blackballed. There is no
I don't
doubt.
think anything has come out since
nothing.
Oh hell, what was that record she released in 1990 or so?
It happened real fast.
Shell Shocked or something?
No, that was before. There was
that was the one before.
Arkansas Traveler. That's it. Arkansas
Traveler.
And that's a good record. That's a good album.
Yeah, she got. And
I like some João Gilberto. This is a double album of bossa nova,
I like
samba, just really great, really smooth listening. I really like that. George Thorogood.
Oh, I had
live.
That.
This is the live record.
Yeah, I had that record. Turn it up.
Yeah. This is a really good jazz record. Japanese jazz artist Sadao Watanabe. Parker's Mood. Really, it's a live recording in a club. Really, really good. Very excellent.
Is it just Charlie Parker songs or?
I'm not familiar with Charlie Parker's catalog.
Yeah,
I don't know if they are. But they've got what is Stella by Starlight, Everything Happens to Me,
Yeah,
Lament. Lament is Charlie Parker.
Beautiful.
Billy's Bounce, I Thought About You, and Parker's Mood. Really good recording up there. Don't normally do soundtracks, but this is a really good soundtrack. Stand By Me.
It's a good soundtrack.
Came out in 1987. A lot of really good songs on there.
It's really
we're talking about 86.
Yeah, but we're doing 86.
22 minutes long. It's really short.
Yeah. And this is another soundtrack. This is Tangerine Dream, the soundtrack to Legends. Believe it or not, that guy
that's
right there, you know who that is?
It's Tim Curry.
Cruise.
Yeah.
Tim
Cruise.
Curry. Yeah, Tim Curry. I'm like, I was right.
Yeah.
I just said Tom Cruise because I know he's in. I've never seen that movie.
I saw it probably in '86. I don't think I've seen it since. So
there's a short documentary about the Tim Curry and having the makeup put on, for that. I haven't watched it, but I really would like it.
It's definitely, if you don't know it's him, it's hard to tell. But.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it and, no way can I recognize that. But here are my top 10, starting with number 10, The Residents. This is Stars and Hank Forever. The side with the Hank songs that's the good side. The other side, they do their thing on John Philip Sousa marches, which is kind of quirky and fun, but their covers of the Hank Williams song were really, really good. And this is also one of these records that it's a translucent record, so you got to hold it up to a really, really bright light, and then you can the light will go through it. This was voted, by the way, Stars and Hank Forever was voted among the worst releases of 1986.
Oh, wow.
This also was voted among the worst releases of 1986. But it's my number 9, Jazz from Hell.
That's a good record.
It's all his music done with the synclavier, except for one track. It is not electronic, but yeah,
I like it.
It's a good album. I like it too. This is a really good record by Ryuichi Sakamoto, Futurista. So this was just before he really gets into doing the film soundtracks. That store I was talking about in Chicago, where I picked up a bunch of Yellow Magic Orchestra, they have that as well with an Obi strip. I didn't get it. I mean, I have that one. I don't really need to get one with the Obi, but I was really surprised at how much Yellow Magic Orchestra they have.
I see what.
Robert Cray with the Strong Persuader.
Constant busy signal when I call you on the phone.
I don't know that.
This is the only Robert Cray album I really have a need to have. I mean, I haven't really listened to anything else, but I'm completely satisfied with this record.
That's his best record. He won a ton of Grammys for that. I saw him in a church on the campus of Southern Illinois University on that tour. There were probably 50 people all sitting in pews, and he just stood there and just jammed.
It was wow, great. That would have been really righteous.
Fantastic. It was
It's because of me.
Terrific guitarist.
I don't know this guy.
Oh, excellent. It's an excellent blues album, and he had there were 2 hits. There was the Strong Persuader, and then the other one was
Smoking Gun, and It's Because of Me.
Yeah.
He's still around too.
Different nose.
Nothing But a Woman. That was a semi.
Yeah,
I
that
have the 12-inch single for. I never did get that album though. I have two 12-inch singles of the two hits.
got a little '80s feel to it.
Yeah.
Ecstasy, Skylarking.
So good.
At number 6. This is the American release that I got because I wanted to get the release with Dear God on it. And now that I've listened to it several times, each time I listen to it, I realize how Dear God just doesn't
You
fit.
didn't really work on there, yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit. So I want to get the British release.
So is that the version? Because the mermaid song, or so, there's a song about mermaids that was deleted off of the U.S. version. I have a reissue that has both on it. It has the deleted song because they took a song off of it to put "Dear God" on it, and I think it was something about mermaids or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know which one that is,
but I got a reissue that has both of them on it. But it's the same thing. "Dear God's" a great song, but it does not really belong on.
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
Right, it is a good. Yeah, totally. It's a great song, but
and that's what it should have been.
Yeah, it's very jarring when it comes on. The Call. This is a band from. I always thought they were from Oklahoma, but they're from the San Francisco Bay Area. Just because of the songs that they sing about being in Oklahoma and tornadoes and things like that. I just really thought they were from the Midwest.
I used to think
I have it on CD too. Because when I got this has got a kickback skip, that, and I've tried to see if it was happening because of, something in the groove, but I don't see anything. I don't even see a mark on the record, but it kicks back every time on this one song. Really,
I had that CD. That's good.
I have it on CD too.
Yeah.
I would like to get a replacement for the record though. Number 4, Johnny Winter, Third Degree. Saw him on the tour where he was doing bars in the Southwest, and I was living in Santa Fe for this. This is just a really good Johnny Winter album, and it was really fun watching him play. He plays like a guitar that's like a stick, and for the I don't know what he was doing if that was part of the gear, but his whatever the what do you call it, the thing to hold the guitar around your shoulder?
Strap.
Yeah, the strap. It was elastic, and so rather than using like a wah-wah or a bar on the guitar, he would push it down and lift it up, and he would get the wah-wah sound out of it. And I thought it was coming from, because it was like a phone cord, it was wound up, so there were wires in it. So I'd never seen anything like that.
I saw him live probably around this time in a tiny, tiny little bar out in Lincolnshire, Illinois. There used to be a bar called Shades out there. Tiny little place. And he was there. I used to see the Siegel Schwall band there. I saw Coco Taylor there. Just a little dive bar in the middle of fucking the north suburbs of Chicago. He was great. And I know what you're talking about. He had that, like, it created, like, all kinds of weird effects and shit. It was great.
Right.
Yeah, it was really
It was just totally amazing.
Yeah.
Another live album. This is Stevie Ray Vaughan, Live Alive. I saw him on this tour at Palo Solari in Santa Fe, which doesn't exist anymore. But what a freaking show. I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. And the Blue Octopus really helped too.
I just got that album. I didn't really think it was. I think he's got better live albums. That one just sounds very.
Does he have a
stadium? Well, they're releasing
are there
ones
other
now.
live albums?
They
came
released
out with one
some
recently.
Yeah.
But that one just sounds so like overblown with the production and the echo and the.
It probably
it's got that '80s kind of.
Because he was at his peak when that came out.
And you can barely hear like the guitar.
Yeah.
It's just all this, processing.
My number 2 is Peter Gabriel's "So," which was shown already. But yeah, what was that song you said that's open side to?
In Your Eyes.
Yeah, that's what opened side 2 on this one. So
yeah, that's the original. And reissues, though, they put it. He wanted it at the end.
Gotcha.
The album,
but they were
said,
worried about the
that'll take away the bass. It'll cause intergroove. We want that song to sound stellar.
So what did they put at the end? Did they put Mercy Street at the end?
No, it's like we are Excellent Birds. I think the CD has a track that the album doesn't have. So
we do what we're told.
The record, yeah.
And this is the picture. Excellent Birds is a CD bonus track. But yeah, we do what we're told is the last song.
My number 1 is the REM album that was shown, Life's Rich Pageant. Just really so many good songs. Right from the first track, begin the begin. It's not begin the begin, but begin. And I mean, just it's such a great opener. And the other, Hyena and Underneath the Bunker. I mean, there are a lot of good deep tracks on here. And I always thought that this was Brezhnev, but it's not.
It's Bill Berry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Bill Berry. But I kept looking at that thinking, is that Brezhnev?
It kind of is an album of deep tracks.
Yeah.
Which I think people at the time were not expecting. I think they were expecting bigger. Because I remember a lot of my REM friends did not like that when it came out. I think it holds up. I think it's terrific.
Yeah, I think it holds up. It's not my favorite of the earlier records, but it's definitely a very strong contender.
Yeah, it's a great song.
I think a lot of people, too, with Eponymous, because a lot of the singles on Eponymous, they're different mixes than what were on the album. So, and if you went backwards like I did, because I started with Eponymous, and then started going backwards. It was a little bit jarring to hear some of these songs go, oh, that's not how it sounds on Eponymous.
Yeah, so, Radio Free Europe is different. That's the single version.
But there you are. That's my top 10, my tops.
All right.
So I have 4 honorable mentions and a top 20. You're welcome. Because there was a lot. Well, I mentioned it earlier. Like I had like 50, 60, and then I had to break it down. And then you guys are mentioning stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was on my original list.
But you're doing singles though, right?
I'm doing singles, but you mentioned like art that I was like, oh fuck, that song was in my, and it didn't make it on the list because there was so much. But all right, so my 4 honorable mentions: Moody Blues with Your Wildest Dream. I don't know why I love that song. Honestly, I think it's the only song I know by them.
Nights in White Satin.
Oh, did they do that song?
Yeah, right. My Seesaw.
I know that. I know that song. I didn't know it was them, but I just Wildest Dreams.
I like that song too, Craig.
It makes me think.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a really well done. I think the video is really good for them, and I think does
it kind of make you think of the Never Ending Story? It's not in it.
A little, yeah.
But it kind of makes me think of like that big flying dinosaur lizard worm thing.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. You've never seen the Never Ending Story?
I was never into fantasy movies like that.
Good then.
Corey,
as a kid, I was not into flying dragons and yeah.
The only album I ever owned of theirs, and the only thing I knew of, yes, Judas Priest with Turbo Lover. That's another honorable mention. I love Turbo Lover. I get so excited every time I hear that song. So good. Yes, and it's really great to drive to.
Yeah.
Third honorable mention, Robbie Neville with C'est La Vie.
C'est La Vie.
La Vie. Hey, JJ, your car broke down. The thing just isn't moving.
Hey, JJ.
And my last honorable mention, and I can only say her name one way, and that's Samantha motherfucking Fox with Do Ya Wanna Please Me? Oh, so good. I mean, touch me, yes, but do you want to please? Oh, look at her. Look at her elegance there. Girl, Samantha fucking Fox. All right. Number 20, I don't have a visual for this. Big Audio Dynamite. with Big Audio Dynamite with "Come On Every Beatbox." Yes,
I don't remember that one.
You don't remember "Come On Every Beatbox"?
That's their biggest song,
let's
right?
party right. That's like the only song that anybody knows.
What? That album that it was on was voted one of the worst releases of 1986.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, I don't.
No, that's on number 10 Upping Street, right?
That's on 2?
Yeah. The number Upping, yeah.
Oh. I gotta revisit that.
That's the 2 singles. Is that one in the Globe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Globe, yeah. Oh, Globe.
The Globe's on the next album.
That's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
Number 19, "Swing Out Sister" with "Breakout." Don't start
Swing Out Sister.
You got to find a way to say what you want to say. Break out. Shut it. All right, number. Jaja Gabor. What is this? 18. Peter Gabriel with "Sledgehammer." That video is it was so everything about
the video.
And is that a song about his penis?
Let's hope so.
I thought that I've heard that several places. That's what the Sledgehammer.
Never heard that. Now I'm liking. I'm gonna Google it later.
I want to be your sledgehammer.
I wanna. Number. Why do I keep saying bore? Number 17 would be a Concrete Blonde with "Still in Hollywood." Still in Hollywood.
How did I miss that album? How did I miss that album? Like Robert was talking earlier about we show stuff. I did not see that 86 list.
So good. Their debut.
Yeah.
So good. Yes. Still in Hollywood.
I would have told that.
Maybe the record, maybe the album is from 85 and the single is 86.
No, album is from 86.
Oh, wow.
Right there.
Wow, I missed that.
Because I questioned that when he said that. I thought maybe that's why. No.
Wow.
Do you have a reissue of it? Because did you look on your Discogs?
I don't do my Discogs. I do.
Oh, okay. You just
like other sites. Yeah, because Discogs.
Number 16. "It's the Summer of Love, love." Yes, B-52s with "Summer of Love." This was the last album and with Ricky on it. So
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, good times. I don't have a visual. Number 15. Maybe I don't need to see the numbers. Julian Cope with "World Shut Your Mouth." I love that song. And I don't know anything else by Julian Cope, but I know "World Shut Your Mouth" because "World Shut Your Motherfucking Mouth." Okay?
Yes.
Does he have some good stuff?
The car? Is that him?
I don't know, but I might need to start my car.
They used to play his stuff on 120 Minutes. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. That might have been. No, I wasn't watching that when 120 wasn't in the 80s. So I don't know where I heard "World Shut Your Mouth," but I love it so much.
It was a huge song.
14, "New Shoes" with "I Can't Wait."
You found yours, I found mine. I can't wait.
Oh, good. I saw recently on one of those auction videos on that What's Not or whatever that app is or whatever. Somebody paid like $64 for this. I'm like, I paid like maybe 50 cents for it.
Is that the video with the dog that keeps...
Is there a dog in the video?
I think so.
Or is that the
I don't know.
They have like 2 songs.
The Point of No Return was the other
single. I don't know which one it was.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I Can't Wait is the better of the two. Although Point of No Return is pretty awesome. You know what? I studied nuclear science. I love my classes. I got a crazy teacher. He wears dark glasses. Things are going great, but they're only getting better. The future is so motherfucking bright. I gotta wear shades. Yes. This is a really good record, actually. It's like that.
I remember the video. I remember the song.
God, I love Tim McPherson. I have like 3 of their albums. albums. I think they're great. They were a husband and wife. They're divorced now. But yeah, I love The Future So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades. That song makes me a very happy me. 12. Dead or Alive. There is something in my house. I am feeling haunted. Oh, look at Pete before he fucked up his face. Or that's Pete. Yeah. And then rest in peace, Pete Burns. First time I saw somebody with a nose ring. Pete Burns, right there, nose ring. Number 11. While you were away, I was human too. Yes, the Human League with Human. Oh, yes, when the girl comes on and she's like, yeah, I've been cheating too, you piece of garbage. Yep. She's like, I'll forgive you, but I ask the same of you.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, I need that. I only have yeah, I don't know. Never mind. Never you mind. Number 10. Yeah, I think I don't know which one. I only have one other.
Dare. Probably Don't You Want Me with it.
Yeah, you have Dare. Which is
wait, no, no, the one with Keep Feeling Fascination. It's an EP, I think, is what I have. I have an album. Yeah. Number 10, Howard Jones with You Know I Love You. Don't you? Boop, 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 boop.
That's a terrific album.
I love this. It's my favorite Howard Jones album, 1 to 1. I love it so much. This was played a lot when it came out. I love every single. Oh my god! And the closer, A Little Bit of Snow. Oh, break my heart. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Number 9, Wawani with Sugar Free. Australian band. They only had 2 albums. So great. Oh, My Love and Me were sugar free. They are talking about, they're sugar free. They don't do no nose candy. So good.
Anymore.
Number 8. What's up, girl? He stood me up again. Well, what's up with this guy? You would like him that much? Yes, honey, I love him. He is fine. Yes, Janet Jackson with What Have You Done For Me Lately? Look at Janet. Single.
Were you an emotional moment there for Craig?
Yeah.
So Papa said, you've got one life to live. Who's right? Who's wrong?
Who's wrong? Well, there used to be a time when you would pamper me.
You used to brag about it all the time.
Yeah. And then his fucking dancing feet are always on her couch. And good thing I cook for us. We'd starve to death. That guy was not good for Janet.
No.
Was not good. It's a good thing she got rid of his sorry ass. Number 7. This song is so beautiful. And this was before he did his solo. George Michael with A Different Corner.
But the 45 for that actually is George Michael, though, right?
Yes.
I noticed that when it came out. I'm like, well, that's the end of Wham.
Yeah.
Because they're crediting that to George Michael. On the video on MTV, when it would come on, it would just say George Michael.
Yeah. And Careless Whisper actually was Wham featuring George Michael, right?
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful. And oh my God, when I saw him and he sang this song and my tears were just flowing and then I had to collect them and then throw them over my shoulder. And it was number 6.
Wait. You threw your tears over?
Yes. And
so you had like an empty beer.
Yeah. And I was like, and I bathed the people behind. Yeah. Or like in Crybaby, and then I drank them. But yeah. All right, 6. I love this song. I love the album. Yes, Prince, Kiss. That the first time I ever heard that song, I saw the video. And I'm like, look at him in his half shirt. What? You can't wear a half shirt. No, he can wear a half shirt because he is Prince.
Did you go out and buy one?
I did not buy I actually don't know that I ever wore a half shirt and probably shouldn't.
Which if you have the album, you don't get the ending to the song. You know how it's like, your extra time and your do. Kiss, and then it fades out. It doesn't do that on the album. He goes Kiss, and then it goes right into the next song.
Oh yeah, it does.
Well,
Yeah.
I haven't listened to the album in a while. I should probably do that. I always listen to the single, like streaming or whatever.
The single has the ending on it, but the album, it just goes right into Another Lover, I think.
Number 5. It's probably one of the most beautiful songs ever. It really, truly is. Stevie Nicks with Has Anyone Ever Written Anything for You? That song, I don't want that. I just... It's so beautiful.
A song written for Joe Walsh.
Yeah, it's definitely the most beautiful song she's ever written.
It's so... You don't like
Edge of 17.
It's an okay song.
I think it's so... I'm not saying it's the most beautiful song she's ever written. She's written a lot. But that song is just really, really, really
special. Is it really written for Joe Walsh?
Yeah, that's who she's singing to.
Really?
She wrote it for.
I did not know that. I knew she wrote it for somebody. I thought she wrote it for some girl back in
86. No.
Yeah, the album came out in 85, but that's the third single, so it's 86.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because Talk to Me and I Can't Wait were the other two.
I'll get it for the next. I'll get it for the next two, but I don't care. I don't care because I loved them since 1986. I love this song. I still get excited every single time I hear it. Nobody really does this, but yes, Gregory Abbott read my mind, and he gonna shake me down. Ooh, you read my mind.
Wow,
wow. I'm gonna shake you down.
Wow, wow.
Well. Oh, it's so. Look at him back there. Look at Gregory Abbott back there.
Girl,
I've
been watching you from so far across the room now, baby.
Oh, I love it so much. I love it.
I'm gonna shake you down. Get up against the wall, motherfucker. Spread them.
What?
That's usually what a shakedown is you're gonna shake some.
Yeah, shakedown, breakdown. You got me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This really is 99 proof. Anyway,
where we at? We are
shakedown with like some kind of like you're trying to get money out of somebody.
Yeah, something like that. And then there's that song, Shakedown, Breakdown.
Yeah. Bob Seger's only #1 hit.
Oh yeah. Bob Seger.
Wait, Shakedown is Bob Seger's only number
one
hit.
That is really sad because it's not a good song.
Bizarre.
Yeah, not a good. He has so many better songs.
And Bruce Springsteen never had a #1 hit. Neither did Creedence Clearwater Revival. Fun fact.
But, so number 3, one of the most beautiful songs ever. Krista Berg, The Lady in Red. She is dancing with me, cheek to cheek. Nobody's here. It's just you and me. It's where I want to be. Oh, I get so emotional. Look at him back there. Look at him looking all nice in his red. Oh my God, he's wearing a red sweater and he is singing about the lady in red. Look at you, Chris.
Oh, the ferryman until he gets you to the other side.
The lady in red. What? What about a ferryman?
That was his other song, Don't Pay the Ferryman. Until
I don't know. This is seriously the only song I know by him. Like
he had like that one. He had another one too, didn't he?
Yeah, he had one other one, didn't he?
I don't know.
What it is.
I had the album. I didn't like it.
High on emotion.
I don't know it. Number 2. Oh, hang the blessed DJ. The Smiths with Panic. Hang the DJ, hang the DJ, hang the DJ, hang the DJ.
What if the DJ's already
on?
Robert Fippen.
I need to get more into the Smiths. I totally skipped on them my whole like teenage year because they weren't really on the radio or whatever.
Yeah, you
just
need
now.
to. Yeah.
They weren't.
Like all these years later, just now getting their albums and
I couldn't. I'll get to mine. Yeah.
I'll hang the blessed DJ. And number 1
is Dead is this year, isn't it? Oh, whoops! Spoiler alert.
Oh wait, where did my other? I've lost a 45. Aw, where did it go? Well, I have it, but it's not here. So my, number 1 is actually a tie, but it's the same artist, same band, so it's okay. I had the 45 that did not make it up here with me, but yes, the House Martins with their cover of the Jasper Isley song "Caravan of Love," acapella. Are you ready? So good, so great. Yeah, I don't know where I had it in the pile, but yeah.
So you had a tie at number 1. Couldn't you?
Yeah, I have a tie at number 1. It's the
done
same.
An even 5 of honorable mentions.
No, touch.
That's the way I look at it.
Same band, but really, so it's Caravan of Love, and because they're equally fantastic, this one might be a tad bit more fantastic. So but Happy Hour. It's Happy Hour again. House Martins. Yes. Paul Heaton. Fucking genius. Happy Hour. There you have it. My really long, drawn out bullshit. You're welcome. On that note,
you came up with the songs for those singles that people wouldn't know.
There's a man.
Somebody hanging out. That hi, Richard Friend. Who is this? Hi, Richard Friend.
That's my friend He.
He?
Yes.
Just H-E?
Yes.
Or Heath?
No.
He.
Yes.
So,
hi, He.
Craig's singles, really bring out the, because you wouldn't have an album and talk about new shoes or,
right,
whatever.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a different spin.
I keep with the singles. I think it gives us a,
Yeah.
Plus, that's what I said.
I can have so much more fun with this.
No, and that's why I like that you do singles, because I don't know half those songs, but people watch.
I knew them all until it got to the last two.
I don't know 80% of them.
I knew all
people
of those.
Watching probably.
You don't know House Martins?
Hold on.
No, I don't know the House Martins. I know all the other ones.
This is tough going last. I don't think I go last on the.
No, not very much.
Not very often.
Yeah, this is like one of the first times I've gone last. This sucks because all I want to do is talk while you guys are talking about your records, and then I get to mine and I'm like, I don't know. You've already talked about most of them, but I'll do it. No one mentioned this. This is one of Miles Davis's final records. This is Tutu. I love this album cover. It's not a great album.
I thought it was Seal.
But it's a top.
It's okay. I mean, of his later stuff, this is probably the one to get. But I mean, he died shortly after this. I mean, it's okay. It's not classic.
Miles Davis with his resting bitch face.
Yeah, it's a great cover, isn't it? Look, I showed Jazz, and Robert's like, yeah, I'm just gonna wander around looking at my CDs in my pajamas. Here's a record that none of you probably thought I would ever have in my collection, but y'all mentioned it already, and it's a great record. I love this record. Robert summed it up perfectly. I saw what you just pulled off that shelf.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
And I love this record, and it's Janet Jackson's Control.
It's so great.
It's a great album. And you're right, Robert. She took over the mantle of, just of the queen of pop. She was freaking awesome. Yeah. Not just this record, everything that followed for like.
Right. She had like 4 that were just like that. Rhythm Nation, Janet, the Velvet Rope. And then Michael's over here just doing whatever.
Well, we know what he was doing.
Well,
he's fiddling about.
Yeah, he was fiddling about.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Rhythm Nation was
allegedly
fantastic. Those videos from Rhythm Nation
are
so well done. They're just beautiful.
Speaking of videos, I tried to do the chair thing that she does in the Pleasure Principle.
Oh,
the Pleasure Principle.
Nobody can do that but Janet.
Oh man, I hurt myself, and I was only like 14 years old or 16 years old or whatever.
I thought this was yesterday.
I thought you tried to do it last week.
There's no way I would try to do that now.
I might.
You know the chair thing I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I still don't know who that is.
The House Martins.
House Martins. So good.
Freaking record. I'm so glad you talked about it, Craig. Richard, I love the House Martins. This is a terrific record. These are not easy to find either. I mean, I have the other one, the Under the Stairs or whatever that one is.
It's
what kind of music is it?
Bring themselves to death.
It's just fun British pop. It's fun.
Paul Heaton is a motherfucking genius.
Yeah, Paul Heaton's really cool.
Yeah.
Great record. This is my favorite of the 2 records of theirs that I own.
London Hole 4 is the better out of the 2, but they're both great. They're both great. But that is because we did an album review of his later project, The Beautiful South, so that might help.
Okay. I didn't realize that was the
same thing. He was part of The Beautiful South.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And also Fatboy Slim was also in the House Martins.
Yes, it was, man.
I'm just learning so much. First, I learned that one dude was in that one group, and now I'm learning that
some other guy was also there.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome.
Richard said the Wall of Voodoo guy.
Oh yeah, Wall of Voodoo guy, and then now Norman Cook,
Standard Ridgeway,
Fatboy Slim, House Martin.
So this one is Chameleons UK. This is Strange Times.
Yeah.
Really
love
cool
that cover.
Post-punk record. I love Chameleons. Absolutely wonderful band.
I like the cover.
Yeah, isn't that great? All their covers are really good. Script of the Bridge is really cool cover of it. That's probably their best record. I like this too.
They were kind of ahead of their time too. Like after this one? Kind of ahead of their.
I didn't discover that at the time. I mean, in 1986, I was a sophomore in college, so I was listening to, I listened to a lot of because my roommate at the time was a huge Smiths fan, and like you were saying earlier, Robert, Smiths weren't on the radio. I never heard Smiths on the radio, and bands like he listened to Joy Division and Jesus and Mary Chain and shit like that. So none of that wasn't on the radio. But my roommate in college was like a skate boy. He went everywhere on a skateboard. His boxers hanging out of his pants everywhere he went. He was into all that early. It's not even Brit pop. What I don't even know what that. It's kind of like a second wave of British invasion. So that's where I learned about the Smiths and stuff like that. This is a very underrated Elvis Costello record. This is King of America. Terrific record. Very. It got panned, I'm sure, at the time. Awesome cover. I love this cover of Elvis. Really, really good record. Excellent stuff. I think Elvis did. I think he released 2 records in '86. I don't have the other one. This came out I'm shocked that no one mentioned this, but Tinderbox.
Oh yeah, Tinderbox did come out that year.
Tinderbox probably might be my favorite Susie. I don't know.
It's a good one.
They're all fun.
Good one.
It's just I don't know. Tinderbox. I just picked this up actually. Remember, I picked this up. I think we talked about it. My neighbor down the street was selling records for $5. Yeah, and he sold me this for $5, and it's great. It's in mint condition.
Is Cities and Dust on?
Yeah,
no.
I think so. Okay.
No.
Previous one, I think.
Yeah, what's the single off of that? It's a great album.
This is. Cities and Dust is on here.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought I was on that up.
Candyman Canyons, the Sweet.
Candyman.
The Unrest, Cities and Dust, Land's End.
Yes.
It's a short album, but it's a terrific record.
Great.
Next. If you're just learning what Depeche Mode is about, this was the 80s Depeche Mode. I adore this record. Yeah, this is perfect 80s Depeche Mode for me.
Yeah, Stripped was supposed to be on my list. But...
Yeah. No one mentioned this because it's really... I was surprised I actually had it in my collection because, man, this album got worn out in the 80s. It was everywhere. 86 was like a perfect time where we were still getting radio. We were still getting MTV. Everywhere we went. I mean, I was a sophomore in college. Music was surrounding us at all times, and I feel like nowadays music isn't surrounding me as much as it used to.
Mm.
But when I was, how old I was, 18 years old, it was everywhere, and this album was everywhere, and it's Paul Simon's Graceland.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention You Can Call
Probably
Me.
the biggest album of the year, right?
Yeah.
It's a good album.
Control was huge. There were a lot of big albums this year.
Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of
number one,
which will also be in my bottoms. But this is a great album, and when Paul Simon released this, everyone was like, "Wait, who's Paul Simon?" And yeah, he just fucking nailed it with this. A lot of fun videos that were all over MTV. It had a new catchy sound, and I never listened to it.
And Ladysmith Black
There's
Mambazo.
3 other Paul Simon records I would rather listen to than this. But
Ladysmith Black Mambazo did stuff on that, right? Yeah. Isn't Diamond on the Souls of Her? That's a great record. I don't know why I don't own it.
Great record.
That's problem.
I've never had that either. I
never listened to it.
It's so...
That You Can Call Me Al thing with Chevy Chase kind of turned me off. I think that's why I never got that.
Is that...
video. I mean, videos, you have to kind of separate. I always was able to separate videos from songs because I didn't watch a lot of videos. But MTV was always on when you went to somebody's house. It was on in the background. Or it was on. It was always there, kind of like a radio.
Radio.
Okay, so now we're down to my final 2, and Miss Queen is Dead. I didn't know the record when it first came out. I learned about it probably a couple years after, because I liked my roommate in college, but he was kind of annoying with his music. But he was always talking about this record, always talking about it, and man, it's freaking good.
It's so great. Yeah,
it's probably my favorite Smiths record.
It is. I mean, it is like.
It's not like they had.
Well, they only had 4.
I don't know this.
I'm
really unfamiliar with them
because I had compilations. I'm more into favorite songs than I don't really know the albums that well. I know.
I mean, Queen is Dead. Like that's a great. I have a thing for Strange Ways Here We Come because I think it was really the first like Smiths album I heard all the way through. Before that, I had like the Louder Than Bombs compilation.
I think everyone had that.
Oh my God, Paint a Vulgar Picture is still my favorite Smith song of all time.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. Louder Than Bombs it's my favorite, but then it's Queen is Dead as after.
I started with their first one and just wasn't really that impressed, so it took a long time to get the more Smiths because I listened to the first one. I'm like, this is just kind of.
It definitely got better. Like their debut is not horrible, but it's not. It gets better. Because Meat is Murder, and then you kind of but
yeah. I love this. It's one of my favorite albums now of all time. And speaking of one of my favorite albums of all time, and this is Talk Talk's Color of Spring.
That's a good.
Love Talk Talk. This is the first of their 3 masterpieces. This is the one that has the big single, Life is What You Make It, which was covered by a bunch of people. But this is the first of their final like avant-garde jazzy records where Mark Hollis, the lead singer, was like, I don't want to be a pop star. This is fucking ridiculous. Fuck you, record companies. I'm going to make music that I like. And it really started with this record, and then it goes off into Spirit of Eden. And it just, one of my favorite bands of all time. I just think Mark Hollis was a musical genius. This Color of Spring. Great artwork, too. Love that. And that's it. That's all I got. I got
all right. So like a lot of great music from 1986, but we didn't mention a lot of the really popular stuff that was all over the. I mean, some, but there's so much popular stuff all over the radio. I wonder if that will be mentioned in the bottoms of 1986 that are coming up.
Why don't you tell us, Robert Fithin?
Well, in 1986, you mentioned MTV, and I definitely got MTV in January of Christmas of 1985, but basically January of 1986. And it seemed like this was the year that MTV really went from being a sort of a delivery service for music videos. People would make their music videos and MTV would show them. And at this point in 86, MTV started being the style of music videos. Like all the videos started looking the same. You had to have the MTV look, and they really started dictating what music videos should look like.
Yep.
And it really became a lot less interesting. I mean, in 1984, I didn't have MTV at that point in 84, but, I had, Friday night videos and stuff like that. But all the videos would look different.
Yep.
Some would look super cheap, some would look cool, some would look, was it just a performance thing? They were all different. In 86, everything started looking very similar. And by 88, it was like every video is the exact same. And it was the very beginning of my disillusionment with really popular music, which really took hold in more like 88 and 89 when I was like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm going to start listening to classic rock and punk rock and stuff like that from the 70s. I'm going to go back and check out some of the stuff I missed from the 70s and whatever. But so 86 was, you could just sense that for me that was coming, So I could go on and on about a bunch of bodies because it was a very bloated year for pop music and rock music. It's just a lot of excess, a lot of more style over substance. So I could do a lot of low-hanging fruit like Bon Jovi, just overplayed schlock. But I decided to go with one bottom. And in the 80s, Prince. I was totally into Prince starting in late 1983 and 84, right before Purple Rain came out. The first Prince song I ever heard was Delirious, actually, because I told this story before about how I started made it a point to listen to pop radio in 83. Little Red Corvette was already out. 1999 was already out as a single, so they weren't playing those as much. They were playing Delirious. That was the new single. I'm like, wow, this is great. Who is this Prince guy? And then just was hooked. And then Purple Rain comes out in 84. And I started listening to this urban station for the first time called Magic 108 from St. Louis. And just to hear Prince, because they would play Prince like every 35 minutes. And they would play older Prince that I didn't have. I only had 1999 and Purple Rain on cassettes. So I got to hear all this, and B-sides, like She's Always in My Hair and Erotic City and stuff like that. So they were playing all of this Prince. And so I'm listening to this urban station called Magic 108. Well, they're also playing a lot of rap music, which I'd never heard before. And this is 84, 85, really 84. And I started hearing all this stuff, and it was so interesting to me because growing up in this steel town, Southern Illinois, I mean, we were 15, 20 minutes away from St. Louis, but that might as well have been another world. I mean, we were a steel town. We were 99% white. And this rap music was so just so raw and so real to me, like this whole other world. And it was so unfiltered, and just so undiluted. It was this is straight from the street, this is how it is, in the streets, and people were rapping about whatever. And again, this is 84, 85 rap. So a lot of it was kind of sing-songish. You had the the easy stuff like that, and so a lot of it was the I'm on the mic and I'm here to say that, that kind of stuff. But a lot of it still was that really gritty kind of we don't have the money to be in a band or what, so we're rapping over the top of samples, and that's the point of samples, is they didn't have the money to go out and get equipment and have a band or whatever, and drum machines and that kind of thing. So I got all of that, and I went out and bought a couple of rap compilations, and these are old rap, like Divine Sounds and Curtis Blow and UTFO with their whole Roxanne battle going on and just crazy stuff like that. And it was so cool to be able to be exposed to this stuff, and I felt here I am in my room as a 13 or 14-year-old just being blown away by all this stuff. And then 1986 comes, and we get this.
Oh no.
The Beastie Boys.
No.
And now it's no longer from the streets. It's a clown show. And was not a fan. Still not a fan. This album from the Beastie Boys, Licensed to Ill, was originally supposed to be called Don't Be a Faggot.
Light up the comments, people.
I didn't know that, but...
Yeah, the album, they wanted to call the album Don't Be a Faggot. Everybody was fine with it, but the parent label, which I think it was Def Jam's the label, but the parent label, CBS, was like, yeah, no, we're not calling the album Don't Be a Fag. And so, yeah, I just... Fight for Your Right to Party was always just kind of there. It's like I could take it or leave
nobody
it.
liked that song.
The rest of the fucking album, you know, rapping about raping underage girls and shit like that. You got, you know, Kenny Cul-de-sac, you know, fucking, oh, this, yo, this changed the face of hip-hop, yo. It took it to a whole new level. Yeah, the third level of the fucking frat house. It didn't need to go to that level. It could have stayed like pure and you know. And then these fucking guys come along and put out this fucking horrible album. And fuck the Beastie Boys. Fuck Don't Be a Faggot or whatever they were going to call it. But it's the same with the music. I mean, rap pretty much started off with the DJ culture where you had, you know, the guy with the two turntables doing live mixing and beat mixing with. You know, it was live in front of the audience. It was vital. I mean, it takes a lot of skill and talent and practice to be able to pull that off. Cut to the $1 Million Studios 2 years later, and all of that's accomplished with, you know, clicking a few buttons, and we're done. So it's like, I don't know. To me, it that lost its point, you know, and definitely reduced the amount of talent involved.
I've never heard that record.
Oh God!
Where I was working was a private school, and a lot of the kids had that record, and I have never really been a Beastie Boys fan. So thank you for saying what you said about it, because you know it is such a praised release. It is really
it is
in high esteem.
They have better than that,
and I just. You know, well, it's just a bunch of white boys cashing in on their privilege, you know,
they're the Pat Boone
with
of rap music,
somebody else's culture.
You know? No. I mean, I appreciate the fact that they went on a year-long apology tour and then came out with Paul's Boutique and Check Your Head and all that stuff later on. But as far as that album and their attitudes and their worldview at that time, fuck that. And yeah, that's my bottom. Beastie Boys' License to Ill. I mean, wow. It killed rap for me, and I never went back to it. Because it's kind of stayed there. It kind of stayed, you know, in that whole.
Yeah, it wasn't until the 2000s that I started listening to rap and hip hop again, and a lot of times it was from artists from Europe, and they just seemed to be more thoughtful and poetic, but still gritty and in your face. It was still talking about what was going on in the street, what was going on in the neighborhoods, but it wasn't jingoistic. It didn't have that.
Well, I've never been a fan of the sampling stuff, but I can understand sampling from like Kool Moe Dee and people, you know, when it's from the street and you don't have a band and that's why you're sampling. When you've got $1 million studio, I mean, what are you doing samples for? I mean, that killed hip hop and rap. I mean, it was called rap then. It's called hip hop later on, but back then it was just called rap music. And there was a very short time there for 2 years where I was really just kind of like, this is really unique and this is really insightful and this is really kind of mind blowing. But then shit like that started and it's like, okay, I'm done with this. Brass Monkey and whatever.
Well,
monkey. No.
Rhyming and still, I love that fucking record, and that's all.
Jesus Christ! I thought it was going to be Richard. It's Craig.
Yeah, no, I love the Beastie Boys. So I feel that it got better after License to Ill, but that was
more. That's what I said. I'm glad they went on their apology tour. They blamed everything on Rick Rubin. And they blamed everything on their whatever.
A lot
of people blamed things on Rick Rubin.
I think also from where I grew up, and we didn't have a lot of things like that, and you know, it was something that we hadn't experienced in my little small town, and I don't know. I mean, fight for your right.
It did come from me being so close to St. Louis and then getting a radio station from St. Louis. If I wouldn't,
MTV probably had a considerable influence on that, because when you think about it, one of the things that MTV did do was bring to rural kids fashion and culture and what was going on in the music that they didn't have access to. But there was still, I don't know, this is just me thinking off the top of my head. There's still a lot of racism in middle America. So when a bunch of white boys come along and start doing the rap and the hip hop, well then boom, okay, I'm going to listen to these guys instead of NWA or somebody like that.
Yeah,
Public Enemy.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, my bottoms are mostly disappointments. The debut album of New Kids on the Block. I mean, I never liked New Kids on the Block anyway.
You were disappointed by that?
Yeah, I had high hopes for New Kids on the Block.
Totally disappointed.
That means you had expectations.
But with that record, though, nobody knew about it until Hanging Tough came out, and then they re-released it.
Elton John, Leather Jackets.
Oh
my God. That was kind of a
I've heard that.
I don't remember that.
I've heard that's not a good one.
No, and it's not even got a Heartache All Over the World is the hit single. It's like, that's not a hit. I did a whole video on that, where I researched like these big artists like Motley Crue and David Bowie and Kiss and Elton John, and looked online for what is usually considered their least best album, their worst album, least best. Their worst album.
I like
and then was reviewing all these to find out what the best of the worst is with all the, and even worse than Victim of Love. I mean, people would say that Leather Jackets was Elton John's worst album.
Never heard.
And I remember it was one of the first ones I ever had. I had it on a cassette. I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah, Victim of Love is usually considered his worst. I've never heard of that record.
It's terrible.
I'm gonna.
It's got a terrible cover as well.
Victim of Love just sounds like some out of control cocaine party.
And
Leather Jackets is just sad. It's just sad.
Oh.
We probably, I think we all pan this one when we did the Lou Reed episode, but Mistrial.
I think I liked it more than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because of the sound of it.
Yeah.
Just this big sound.
And then, of course, my favorite person to hate, we got Ted Nugent's Little Miss Dangerous, coming out. So some more of his pedophilia showing.
I know what the cover is. I've never heard the
the cover is disgusting.
This guy had, his last good album was probably, I have to go back into the 70s. Eric Clapton came out with August. He just really, after, I think Lay Down Sally was the beginning of the end. Slow Hand, that was
damn.
Money and Cigarettes has some good stuff on it. But
August is that the one with Bad Love and that's Journeyman.
August.
What did August have? Is that the one with like
I don't
She's
remember
Waiting?
now.
31 Days.
August is the one where his drummer takes over production of all of his fucking records, and that would be Bill Collins.
Bill Collins. Is that the one with She's Waiting? I like the end of where the bagpipes.
No, She's Waiting is actually on. Isn't that on Money
Behind the Sun? I get him. I don't know.
Yeah, but August is the beginning of his really downturn.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I never liked any of this guy's stuff anyway, but I know some people kind of like his shtick. But Weird Al and Polka Party is just, it's just like.
Weird Al is just the shit.
I liked him when I was a 14-year-old, but I
don't think you can put Weird Al on a bottoms list because he's kind of just.
He's Weird Al.
It's just kind of,
you would never put him on your tops. Is there any Weird Al song that you would put on your tops?
White and Nerdy. It's so good.
I was already done with him by then. I think Polka Party was the last tape I had from him.
Yeah, it was probably.
Is that the one with Like a Surge? No, that's Dare to Be Stupid.
Yeah, Dare to Be Stupid was the best.
It's kind of like, to me, Weird Al was always somebody that you listen to one of his songs one time, and that's enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I used to do what he did for a morning show.
Hell, you do it here.
You did.
Well, I mean, literally make parody songs and perform.
You've done that here as well.
It's not hard to do.
But the one that is a real true bottom for me, I mean, this was really a low point in his career. That was Iggy Pop's Blah, Blah, Blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
It was just that's out of his entire discography. And he's got some questionable lame records in there, but this one is just blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
There might be one good song on
there.
I can't remember
blah, blah,
what
blah.
He sounds like he's trying to be Billy Idol.
Yeah.
I mean, that's totally... I mean, I just listened to this probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 months ago. Back when I was doing the Instagram thing, which I've totally abandoned at this point.
You have, yeah.
But, he sounds... he's trying to be Billy Idol.
Billy Idol album.
Is there any songs I would know on that?
No. Well, there was
The Wild Child, which was used in like 17 different movies.
But wasn't that done earlier?
The Wild Child might be a decent song that's on there.
Well, I'm just out of school.
I'm a real wild child. I'm a wild one.
Can you imagine Billy Idol singing that? It's totally a Billy Idol type.
Yeah,
the whole album is like that.
Yeah. Interesting scene.
Well, that brings up your bottoms, Craig.
Oh, it's time for my bottoms. So there's a couple that were just like...
Wine is empty. How many do you have? My wine is empty. How many do you have? You have 22 legends?
No, I have...
You guys are really...
I have 4.
Richard.
Yeah, I have... Wait, 1, 2, 3... No, there's 5.
Okay.
All right. So one is just not necessarily a bottom. It's a
side.
It's a more of a what the fuck.
I just learned what that was the other day.
Yeah, you did.
Really
side?
Just yesterday? Now I don't feel so bad. I didn't learn about it until like
record side
8 months ago.
Side 2.
Wait, a side or a sigh?
Not.
It's a preferred position.
Continue.
Yes. No, I know all about the
is
side.
it like spooning or something?
I'll
email you a link.
Can you put that link in the comments?
Remember. Let's see. So this is more of a like, what the fuck? And it was a single. And I've never heard of this band, but I saw it in the list of singles. And of course, I had to investigate. They're Australian. I know that much. They go by TISM, T-I-S-M, which means this is serious, Mom. And the song was called Defecate on My Face. And it is
a Chuck Berry song.
It is about
Danny Thomas.
It is the alleged sexual relationship between Hitler and Eva Braun. And with lyrics like, so come on, baby, send it on down, bend over, Braun, and give me your brown. I did listen to it. I'm not proud of this. But when I see something, I'm like, what? I'm curious because I'm a curious guy. I don't know why I'm curious about
and you do your own
on faces.
Yeah.
I'm not. Please don't do that. I don't know. But then I read about like what the song was supposedly about. Yes, TISM. This is serious. Now I kind of like the this is serious.
Hi, Craig. How are you?
Well, usually we would do that, but I think we should just let him drown in that audio.
Oh, you're going to let him drown in that? Oh, with a mix, whatever.
Drown in that cesspool.
Experience Unlimited, they gave us Doing the Cabbage Patch. Fitton loves the Cabbage Patch. He loves Cabbage Patch music.
Yeah, why would this be? I'm surprised this wouldn't be on your top 5.
It's not good. And then, like in 1980, like 2 years later, they gave us Doing the Butt. They like to do things. They like to do the Cabbage Patch, and then they like to do the butt. Go ahead, Experience Unlimited. Wayne Chung loves to have fucking fun tonight, and they need to stop because I still don't know what a fucking Wayne Chung is and how everybody has to do it. Shut up, Wayne Chung. I don't care
It's
about
a yellow something.
I don't know, but everybody Wayne Chung. I hate it so much. Why the hell did Patti LaBelle do a song with Michael McDonald? And why the hell was it? I hate it.
When that song was on the charts, she still had not ever met Michael McDonald. Fun fact.
Really? It's not a good song. And then the worsted bottomest of the bottom. Fucking Genesis with a goddamn throwing it all away. Shut the fuck up. Who cares about you're throwing it all away? I'm gonna throw you away. Phil.
I almost
that's
included
the thing about
that
86. That's the perfect song to talk about, to describe what I was talking about earlier. It's just kind of there. Because it's just like, what can you even say about a song like that?
Not good.
Not like, you can talk about Hitler shitting on somebody's face. That's a conversation. But what can you talk about, like throwing it all? It's just there. It's just like
it is there. It's not, but it's just not good.
Right. That's what I mean. It's not like bad enough to be like, oh my God, this one song where R. Kelly's got in the closet and he's trapped and and you go on. There was so many songs like that from '86 that were just like, nah.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say. It's just nah.
I mean, look up.
Maybe Mike will have something to say with his bottoms.
Yeah, what's your bottom? Tell us about it,
I
Janet.
thought '86 had a lot of fucking bottoms. I literally could have had more bottoms than tops in this year, which, never mind. And you just said "Throwing It All Away" by Genesis, which is actually, I think that's on the Genesis self-titled album. The one
I don't care.
Which one?
Invisible Touch.
Invisible Touch. Oh, that's another bad song.
Yeah, which I almost included in my bottoms.
I think that self-titled one is actually one of their better albums. It's got I don't mind Home by the Sea, and I don't mind That's All.
It's one of the better later ones, yeah. But Invisible Touch is fucking garbage.
Yeah, that's where they go total pop
awful.
Bullshit. Yeah,
absolutely awful. That is the epitome of the Phil Collins years, right
there. She
there.
seems to have an invisible touch. Yeah. No.
Yeah. And the video sucked, and Phil Collins was everywhere because he probably had a solo album out at the exact same time. Because he would release a Genesis album, and then like a month later, he'd release a solo album.
Right, like he went year to year, and it was just like a fucking assault.
Yeah, he's just garbage. Here's another.
Wow.
We know how Mike feels about. We already know how he feels about Phil Collins. Phil Collins must stop.
Here's another one. I was really excited for this record. Back in the High Life by Steve Winwood.
Steve Winwood. That's a good...
I like Steve Winwood. I liked Ark of the Diver. I thought that was really
I like that.
Back in the High Life, I remember. Yes, I remember that.
I don't mind that. It's just kind of another one of those. It's just kind of like, eh.
Did you put it on? Put it on the record player and listen to how '80s produced, overproduced. Awful.
I haven't listened to it in a minute. Maybe I'll.
And it's also one of those.
See if it flies well, like the Frisbee.
It probably had 4 fucking singles, maybe at least 3 or 4.
And
it was
Higher Love featuring Sean Conn.
Bring me a higher love.
The Finer had 3. The Finer Things. No, it had 4. You're right. Freedom Overspill was the other one.
Freedom Overspill.
I like that record.
I think it's just it's a 3-star album. It's very average.
Yeah,
but it was one of the biggest albums of the year.
Oh yeah,
it was everywhere.
Those songs were played over and over. They were all over MTV too.
Yep. What? Are you still drinking that shit?
No, I switched to this.
Oh, Fireball!
Like I'm in college or something. We have all these little airplane bottles of different stuff.
Okay, here comes another one. We're probably gonna get shit for this one in the comments below.
Let's see.
5150 by Van Halen. There's one good song on it.
I'm not gonna give you shit for that.
I'm not gonna give you any shit about it. I've never been a Van Halen fan. Never really.
I love that song.
What song?
What song?
Finish What You Started, I think it's called.
No, that's on OU 812.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
well,
not
great.
even
Then
on
this album
51.
absolutely sucks.
So 5150, that's Hagar.
Why Can't This Be Love
Yeah,
and
it's all
Summer
Hagar.
Yeah,
Nights
and
and
Hagar, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Why Can't This Be Love was
Ugh.
I'm here.
Summer Nights.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Sammy Hagar
Okay.
rules, and that's all there is to it.
Ugh.
Sammy Hagar's solo shit's better than
Cock-a-doo-doo Hagar. Okay.
that. Okay,
And he's a
next
great
up,
guy,
August. August
I'm
by
sure he's
Eric Clapton.
lovely.
That is
He is.
What?
Sure
What happened?
what?
I don't know.
Jesus. August by Eric Clapton. Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did we
terrible.
figure out what the
It's
song
it's
was
the
from that?
downfall
What
of
is
Eric
this?
Clapton.
I'm gonna look it up right now. What is the single from that?
It's not Forever Man. It's
Try to be your forever. How many times have I?
no, Forever Man is on Behind the Sun.
Yeah, that's behind.
Which was
the
right
Sun.
after, which was the album before this, which also wasn't very good.
It's in the way that you use it,
Yeah. Phil Collins.
which is also on the Color of Money soundtrack.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Phil Collins producing, also playing drums. Awful.
I'm
and I feel
looking
bad-
at Wikipedia. Rolling Stone apparently gave it an unfavorable review. All Music gives it 2 stars, but Kerrang gives it 4.5.
Really?
I've never heard it. I just realized I've never heard that album.
Described as a hard R&B album.
What is going on?
But yet it has all the Phil Collins production that you would ever. It sounds like a Phil Collins record with Eric
Yeah.
Clapton singing.
Thank you.
There you go. That's all you need to know. I feel bad about this one, but I don't like this record because it's one of my favorite bands of all time. But Get Close by the Pretenders is not a good record.
Oh, that, yeah.
I do
It's
like Don't Get Me Wrong, but
by
that's about it.
far my
Don't get me
and I
wrong.
adore. You guys know how we reviewed Pretenders,
Yep.
right? I adore
We did.
Pretenders and Chrissy. But man, that record is not good.
Yeah.
Here's a doozy. Press to Play,
Huh?
and I believe it's. I don't know if it's Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney or if it's just Paul McCartney. But man, that album sucks.
I don't know that album, but I do
I-
know the
Oh,
song "Press to
bad.
Play," and that was terrible.
Terrible. I mean, Paul McCartney really wasn't doing anything good at this stage of his career, and don't tell me Ebony and Ivory is good.
It is.
What?
I love it.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, why
my
can't we
last-
get together and be friends like the keys on the piano? Because the white keys didn't enslave the black keys? That might have something to do
You know
with
what the
it.
best part? You know what the best part of the Ebony and Ivory era
The white keys don't have a
was?
systematic
Was Joe
racism.
Piscopo and Eddie Murphy doing it on
You
Saturday
are black
Night
and I am white. You are blind as a bat and I have sight. Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah.
Live. The highlight of Paul McCartney's career is what they did to him on Saturday Night Live. And our younger viewers have no idea what we're talking about. So
Do we have younger viewers?
Yeah, it's just Joe.
Oh yeah, we probably don't. Never mind. And my final bottom of show it, Robert.
Well, it's not that. I mean, if you take off the Harlem Shuffle and forget about this ridiculous cover, it's not really that bad. I mean,
It's bad.
It's bad.
Too Rude is a great Jamaican sounding.
Too Rude would probably be my only song I really like of it.
Winning Ugly is, okay. One hit to the body's the other single.
Whitney's Ugly?
I would rather hear
Nice.
this than Voodoo Lounge or Bridges to Babylon.
I wouldn't want any of them.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to any of them, really.
Dirty Work, the song is all right. You let somebody do the dirty work. Find some loser, find some jerk, find some greaseball. Do it all for free. Had It With You is kind of an
Been
okay
done
song.
before.
Yeah, I think there's a reason Bill Wyman left the band after this album.
Sleep Tonight's a good ender. You better get some sleep tonight. Ah,
Some Girls was the last good album they had.
for fuck's sake.
Their new album is
And Undercover is pretty good. I mean,
I think the new album is better than Undercover.
I know nothing's gonna beat Undercover of the Night. That
Well, the
song. And
sing-
she
the
was
single-
hot. Oh my god, the video for that. Come on,
Yeah,
So
the
those
single,
are two good songs. Yes,
the
those are two
single
good
is great. The
Yeah.
album-
she was hot, hot, hot. New York was cold. It even mentioned Chicago.
Chicago.
Did you see the Saturday Night Live when they did that song?
No.
I'm so hot. I'm so hot for her. She's so cold.
That's She's So Cold. This is She Was Hot.
Oh, right.
Oh, there's different.
It's a totally different Rolling Stones song.
I know neither. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Rolling Stones playlist coming soon. So Craig can learn She Was Hot and She's So Cold.
Proof
I got to learn them both apparently. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Anita Morris in that video. That is just an amazing thing.
Did we really just do 2 hours on 1986?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
It's a bloated year, a bloated video for a bloated year.
You're welcome.
You would think 1977 we would do 6 hours. But nope.
You know, we have still coming up, what does that say? Subsonic?
Subsonic.
Subsonic Eye.
That's the album. They are from Singapore. Richard suggested that. We've got a Tom Petty playlist battle coming up. And what year is next?
2004.
We're gonna review the music of 2004.
We're gonna
you don't want to miss that.
19 years, actually 20 years ago.
Oh, there you have it. Wow.
What the fuck?
Nah.
2004.
Jesus.
I was 31.
1986 over. Woo!
Yay!
Do your thing, Robert.
Hey, we are the Vinyl Community Guncles. Join us for all that and more. I'm Robert Fitton, along with
Richard Calvin Wazoo.
Craig at the Vinyl Plethora.
Mike at Hope Tunes.
Somebody get that man some cha-cha heels.
Where's my damn fucking cha-cha heels?
We'll talk to you again soon. Please join us for our upcoming episodes.
Thank you.